Rome was a republic before becoming an empire, and a monarchy before a republic. Romulus founded the city in 753 BC, and for 2 centuries, Rome was governed by a monarchy. The Kingdom of Rome had 7 kings in total, with Romulus being the first, and Lucius Tarquinius Superbus being the last. The monarchy had its ups and downs, and in fact, it was the downs that led to its downfall. But who were these kings, and what did they contribute to Rome? As I mentioned, the first king of Rome was Romulus, who was also its founder. In 753 BC, he began building the city on the Palatine Hill. After founding and naming Rome, according to history, he allowed men of all classes, including slaves and free men, to come to Rome as citizens without any distinction or discrimination. However, this caused a problem, as Rome had many men and few women at this point. So, Romulus had the idea of inviting neighboring tribes to a festival in Rome with the aim of kidnapping the women. Naturally, this led to a direct conflict with the Sabines, as most of the kidnapped women were Sabine. After a bloody war, Romulus shared the throne with the Sabine king and established a council of elders, called the Senate. These senators would be known as patres, and their descendants as patricians, forming the Roman aristocracy until imperial times. After Romulus' death, there was a year of interregnum during which 10 men chosen from the Senate ruled Rome. Numa Pompilius, known for his reputation for justice and piety, was eventually chosen by the Senate to succeed Romulus. His reign was marked by peace and religious reform. Such was the religiosity of this second king of Rome that he built the Temple of Janus and, after establishing peace with Rome's neighbors, closed the temple's doors to signify a state of peace. These doors remained closed for the rest of his reign. He also established the cult of the Vestal Virgins in Rome and assigned priests to Jupiter, Mars, and Quirinus. Additionally, he instituted the office of Pontifex Maximus, the chief religious figure in the Roman state. Tullius Hostilius was the 3rd king of Rome, and he shared Romulus' warrior-like behavior, but was radically different from Numa in his lack of respect for the gods. Hostilius waged wars against the Sabines and the Albanians, completely destroying the city of Alba Longa, after which he integrated its population into Rome. According to the Roman historian Livy, toward the end of his reign, he fell ill and became superstitious. When he invoked Jupiter for help, the god responded with a lightning bolt that reduced the king and his house to ashes. Tullius Hostilius is credited with the construction of the Curia Hostilia, which served as a home for the Senate for 5 centuries after his death. After Hostilius' death, the Romans chose a peaceful and religious king in his place, the exact opposite of Tullius Hostilius. The chosen one was Numa's grandson, Ancus Marcius, who, like his grandfather, did little to expand Rome's borders and only engaged in defensive wars. After his peaceful reign, we have the 5th king of Rome and the first of Etruscan origin, Lucius Tarquinius Priscus. Priscus earned the favor of King Ancus, who later adopted him as his son. Once he ascended the throne, Tarquinius Priscus waged wars against the Sabines and the Etruscans, doubling the size of Rome and bringing great wealth to the city. One of his first reforms was to add 100 more members to the Senate from the conquered Etruscan tribes, raising the total number of senators to 200. He used the treasures acquired in his wars to build grand monuments, including the Roman Forum, the Temple of Jupiter on the Capitoline Hill, and the Circus Maximus. His reign is also notable for introducing Etruscan symbols of civil and military authority in Rome, such as the king's scepter, the rings worn by senators, and the use of the tuba for military purposes. After Priscus' death, his son-in-law Servius Tullius succeeded him on the throne. Like his father-in-law before him, Servius waged successful wars against the Etruscans. After these wars, Servius used the spoils to build the first city walls, known as the Pomerium, which surrounded all 7 hills of Rome. He also made organizational changes to the Roman forces and is known for implementing a constitution for the Romans. However, Servius' reforms brought about a significant change in Roman life, as voting rights were now based on socioeconomic status, transferring much of the power to the Roman elite. Servius' 44-year reign came to an abrupt end when he was killed in a conspiracy led by his own daughter, Tullia, and her husband, Lucius Tarquinius the Proud, who would take the throne. While in power, Tarquin the Proud waged a series of wars against Rome's neighbors. Although his reign is remembered for its negative aspects, he did carry out public works, such as completing the Temple of Jupiter on the Capitoline Hill. However, his reign is more prominently marked by the use of violence and intimidation to maintain control over Rome, as well as his disregard for customs and the Senate. The breaking point came when the son of the king assaulted Lucretia, the wife and daughter of powerful Roman nobles. Lucretia informed her family of the assault in great detail, and then took her own life to avoid dishonor. Following these events, four men led by Lucius Junius Brutus initiated a revolution that resulted in the expulsion of Tarquin and his family in 509 BC. As a result, Brutus and Collatinus became the first consuls of Rome, marking the beginning of the Republic, a form of government that would last for the next 5 centuries until the arrival of Caesar Octavius. Thank you for joining us on this historical journey. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.